Hi everyone, and welcome to a new edition of the Einstein Awards for Stupidity. Once again, there will be 9 candidates, and well, what can I say? Enjoy! Number 1. I'm going to kick off with this Facebook page, Women's Rights News, which, among its many recurring themes, has that of fat acceptance. But when it comes to advertising their own wares, they don't seem to be all that accepting, with having only young, thin models. Let's not forget, it's these people who are saying that the media gives an unrealistic body image for women. Number 2. I think many of us know this blog where men are chastised and shamed for taking up too much room on public transport. To be fair, a few of these pictures do have a point. These men do seem to be taking more of their fair share of room. Then again, the majority of pictures show public transport that you can hardly describe as crowded, so shaming these people seems a bit petty. Of course, when it is women that need their space, that's fine, as this wearable contraption, I suppose you could call it, implies. It's called a personal space dress. There are many imperfect aspects of riding public transportation, no matter which city you live in. Too much touching is undoubtedly one of them. At times, the amount and inappropriateness of physical contact with strangers raises the offense from an annoyance to an issue of sexual harassment or gender-based marginalization. Yeah, sure. Of course I'd see it that way. The bold artist, who's currently finishing her MFA in Hong Kong, created what's called a personal space dress, a technological enhanced garment that prevents potential squishers, squeezers, and neck breathers from getting too close. So basically, men take too much space, but women can take up all the space they need. Interesting. Shall we see how this works? Interesting how this contraption is being demonstrated on an empty train rather than how the Hong Kong trains really are. I wonder how that would work there. Entry number 3 is Josie Cunningham. She's the person who had the almost 5 grand boob job on the NHS. She's the person who was so disappointed to learn that her third child would be a male that she started drinking and chain smoking. She's the person that had the taxpayer pay 6 grand in taxi fares to shuttle her kids to and from school. She's also the person who sold tickets to the birth of her third child for a total of 30 grand, promising to use the money to pay back the NHS for the boob job. She is the person that cancelled the show once she found out that her third child was actually a female, deciding she wanted to enjoy her precious few moments alone with her daughter and not share them with the world. It's not clear whether the money has been refunded for the birth, for the tickets, but she does have enough money to refund the NHS. But because the British public hates her so much, she decided to, out of spite, to put the money in a trust fund so that it can be spent on her daughter's boob job. Gee, I wonder why she's so hated. Number 4. A village populated only of beautiful women, desperately looking for men. Seems too good to be true, right? Well, yeah, turns out it is too good to be true. To join the community, you have to follow their rules. One of their rules is that you can't join the community. Those few men who are married to some of these women are made to work away from, well, I hesitate to call it home, but for want of a better word, away from home, and are only allowed to return to the village on weekends. Sons are sent away as soon as they turn 18, and no other men are allowed into the village. So basically they're asking men to leave their lives to marry a woman they will be allowed to be with only on weekends, They have no say in the running of the community they are supposed to be part of, but they can only join on weekends. And in the case they have a son, he will be kicked out of the home as soon as he turns 18. I suppose unless he marries one of these women and lives the same life of exile as their wretched fathers. I wonder why men aren't falling over themselves to, join them. Entry number 5. I'll let the clip start and you'll be the judge.
Yes, slavery. I went to school. I don't care about that. My grandmother lived 104. Do you know how long? Here, right here. My family came. My grandmother lived. She just died this year. Okay. She was a slave. Okay. You right here in Stone Mountain. You can go and you. Who says that our ancestors weren't slaves? Hold on, I'm talking about in this country that built this country, and we don't get no reparations. But y'all come over here. Hold on. McDonald's, okay, which is a very huge company. I know. There was a slave. You're not slave. Your right and my right. You're not a slave. My right. I come from slavery. No, you didn't. We do too. We're African, so we know. You don't know where the fuck we're from. Just because we're brown, don't stereotype. I'm talking about African American. Can you leave? My parents were born in Africa, but good job. We're African American. Thank you very much. If you want Kenya and Uganda. Our parents were born in Africa. Okay, in Africa. Yes. In Africa, not African American. What the hell does that mean? African American means that your ancestors were brought over here through the slave ship. It doesn't really make any sense. Yes, it does. No, it That's really what doesn't. It does. That's what it means. Your African soldiers. My dad is a Nigerian. Okay. Okay. For real. My dad's from Uganda. But my grandmother, my ancestry comes from slavery. The man said it's the Vietnamese. And people that want to work. People that want to work. But they come over here, you own an industry. The Indians come over here, they own the hotels. Yeah. And they own me. Because we want to make money. Guess what? But I'm asking you, why is there an industry of you? Who has opened the market to you? But let me tell you, when crack was brought into our communities, it broke up our families. Okay? Wait, I didn't bring crack. Right, no, you didn't. But you reap the repercussions and you reap the benefits of crack being brought into our community. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a system. Why are you screaming at me? Why we don't own a hair store down the street? That's your fault. That's what I'm saying. No, it ain't our fault. I want to own a hair store. But guess what? When I get ready to go try to own a hair store, who controls the industry? The Chinese, they got to sell it to us. So they don't want to sell to us. Whose fault is that? They do not want to. No. It's not our fault. You have to have open up opportunity, which is the open market. Okay? Okay, my thing is, y'all come over here and you country. Go back to your country, make your money there. I'm fine. Make your money in Money's your country. Money's here. Put it on here. Who's good? Motherfuckers are in India and motherfuckers China and Vietnamese. Go back to your country. You sound like we're from India. Let us own our own shit in our community. Don't get them into economics. Oh, they in agreement with me. No. Because they suffer. Black people suffer. We don't have a job. We don't own shit. You go back to your community. I'm fine with you, bitch. You ain't got to take $5, bitch.
Now, what was wrong with this woman? Apparently, because her ancestors were slaves, she shouldn't pay 20 cents for some water. Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. If you want to see the whole clip, it's linked down in the description. Number 6. You would expect any initiative to help women prevent rape would be welcome, including this nail polish that supposedly detects rape drugs and changes colour. Now, there have been fair criticisms of this nail polish and how it would detect drugs, especially since there are several that can be used for this purpose. But that's not the angle that the usual feminist crowd has gone with. Apparently, this nail polish is also rape culture. Yeah, magic words. I don't want to fucking test my drink when I'm at the bar, said Rebecca Neagle, one of the co-directors of an activist group called Force, Upsetting Rape Culture. That's not the world I want to live in. Well, Rebecca, I hate to break this to you, but there is no rape culture. Well, actually, I take that back. Rape culture does exist. And it's all in you feminists' mind. As for the world you live in, I agree, it's not nice to live in a world where rape exists. But, sorry, that's what you have. And won't it be better to avoid the rape if possible? Number 7. If you've been living under a rock these past few days, you won't know of Emma Watson's speech as UN Ambassador for Women and of the threats that she received allegedly from a 4chan user, or as the media put it, from 4chan. CNN also published an article about the backlash she received for her speech. As soon as the threats were revealed as being a hoax, though, CNN clumsily removed the article, replacing it with one revealing the hoax. I say clumsily because the link on Google still directs to the same page, even if the text has been changed. And the comments left on the article are clearly referring to the previous article, when the threat was allegedly still coming from 4chan. CNN. That's not the way you do journalism. And anyway, you should know that once it's on the internet, it never goes away. Be honest and you won't be busted. In the description, you can find the link to an article on KDVR, which contains the original text that was on the CNN site, which was most probably pulled in from a data feed connected to CNN Wire. Number 8. Hate a colleague? What can you do? Rape her, of course. Or if you're a woman, get a stranger to rape her for you. This woman claimed through online chat that she likes role-playing rape and convinced a man to come round to her place and role-play a rape. Unfortunately for this poor guy, the address was that of the hated colleague, but he was bright enough to realize that there was something wrong and didn't go through with the rape. Of course, this is another case of a psycho being found out thanks to internet logs. When will they learn? Number 9 is going to be the icing on the cake for this edition. A mother made frosted cookies for a class of 6 to 7-year-olds and the teacher refused them. Why? Well, take a look for yourselves. The deranged woman had frosted the cookies with vaginas of all shapes to educate the children that vaginas come in all shapes, or so she claims. After going on a tirade against the teacher in person, she went on a similar tirade via email in a most feminist way. So I, parent's name, will be taking or trying to take child's name out of the class due to your cliche role in life in being a teacher and not wanting to empower women. I hope you end up with an abusive husband that beats you every night. Wow. Well, this probably would be a good idea to take that kid out of her care. I wonder what that woman would have thought about these. So that's it for this edition of the Einstein Awards. I hope you enjoyed them, and don't forget to vote in the comments.